Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to understand question number one. The chapter which we are related with is accounting equation. The performer for this accounting equation has already been created. There are two major sides. At left side, you will post all of your assets. On right side, you will post your liabilities. In liabilities, we have fixed section, other liabilities, and secondly, we will see capital or equity. So these two sides will be used. For liability side, little more space we are going to create. All right. And left side, different assets would be written according to a requirement of your question. That means number of assets can be different according to your question. We are now ready to start our question. So let's begin. Mr. Slim started business with goods. What does that mean? Proprietor or owner of that business has provided goods. So goods are coming in. Goods are your near asset. This is for goods, and as usual, what had happened? Goods are increasing. How much amount? 40,000. So you will write 40,000 as plus sign. Secondly, anything which is provided by the proprietor is called capital. So on the other hand, capital is also increased. First entry has been completed. Here you will write your first entry. It means this is be used for the date purpose. And here you can mention it date. After completion of this first part of entry, next is building. Again, listen, Mr. Slim started business with building. It means building is coming in your business. A new asset has been arrived. So building is new asset. How much amount? Look at here, 1 lakh. So similarly, you will write 1 lakh plus in building. As earlier it was described, anything which is provided by the proprietor of the business, that is called capital. So this building would also be considered as your capital. Again, plus sign we have posted. Still, it's first entry. We have not changed it. Get back. Now here there is something missing, and that is cash. Started business with cash of 1,10,000. It means cash is coming in. So here you will write cash. Now let's see how much cash. 1,10,000 is cash. Anything which is provided by the proprietor of the business as an investment, that is called capital. So this third entry would also be considered as your capital. So guys, in this way, first entry has been completed, and please note it down. After completion of any entry, you will put a closing line after that. That means it would be considered as your bottom border. So here this line will show that our entry has been completed. First entry completed. Now we will see what second entry is saying. Look at here, purchase goods on account. Please note it down. When account is written, it means it's credit transaction. You have not paid the amount. Purchase goods, goods are coming in. So here we have already mentioned over here for second entry, goods are coming in. Once again, I'm telling you, purchase goods means goods are coming in for 30,000. 30,000 is increasing. Secondly, On account means you have not paid. So it's a credit transaction. Amount is still payable. It's liability. You will go to other liability and you will write 30,000. In this way, our second entry is completed. You will leave one line and put bottom line after that. In this way, our second entry is completed. So better to write in second line. So I'm going to put 30,000 over here and 30,000 over here. These are not needed now. We are deleted. Two entries are completed. Once again, I'm telling you, in first entry, goods, building and cash had come as capital. In second entry, we have purchased goods. Goods are increasing, but amount was not paid, so it is our liability. Now we will see our third entry. Let's see what it is saying. Sold goods on account. Exactly opposite to this. Sold goods, it means goods are going out because you are selling. There is decrease in goods. So come over here. You will write minus 40,000 because goods are going out. Note it down. Sold goods on account. That means you have not received this amount. Amount is still receivable. The amount which is still receivable, that would be considered as your account receivable. Account receivables are called debtors. Please note it down. If you are hearing this word for the first time, debtors are the person from whom amount is still receivable. Debtors are the person from whom amount is still receivable. Look, when amount is payable, it is liability. When amount is receivable, that would be considered as your asset. The name of such asset is debtor. Debtors are increasing. So 40,000 as plus sign you will put over here. In this way, our third entry is also completed. Now we will focus for our fourth entry and let's see what fourth entry is saying. Cash of rupees 20,000 deposited in bank. That means you have taken your cash out of your pocket and deposited that cash into bank. So it's favorable thing. Your bank account is your asset. New asset column would be introduced and you will see that how much cash has been deposited, 20,000. So there will be an increase in your bank account. So cash has been deposited into the bank. Please note it down. Bank is favorable as your asset. Plus sign you have put because there is increase in bank account. But how? You have paid some of your cash and deposited into the bank. It means there is decrease in your cash account, 20,000. Now note it down. You have taken 20,000 out of this cash, cash decreased and deposited this cash into your bank account and bank account would be increased. Number 4 entry has been completed. After completion of these entries, what we will do, we will put an ending line after completion. So fourth entry is now completed. Let's see what fifth entry is saying. Paid cash to supplier of goods. Look at here. Purchase goods on account. We have purchased goods on credit. Now at number 5, we have paid that cash. We have bought those goods on credit worth of rupees 30,000. Out of this 30,000, only 20,000 we have paid. So paid cash, what does that mean? Your cash would be decreased because you are paying this in cash. So cash decreasing minus sign, minus 20,000. And what happened? Look again. You have paid this cash to the supplier. Now note it down. This was your entry where liability was created. This amount was payable. But now what had happened? Out of 30,000, 20,000 you have paid, means there is decrease in liability. That is why you have put sign of minus. It means it's fifth entry and that has been completed. Now let's put a bottom after that. So entry number 5 is complete. We will now focus for our sixth entry. Received cash from customer. Look at here, you have sold these goods on account to your customer, and now in this entry, entry number 6, you have received cash. Cash is coming in, that means there is an increase in cash. So you will come over here, plus sign you will put, and how much cash you are receiving? 30,000. Just put 30,000 over here. On the other hand, please note it down. Debtors are the person from whom amount was receivable. Out of this 30,000, out of this 40, you have received 30,000. It means there is decrease in debtors. So 30,000 debtors would be decreased. Understand again, 40,000 was the amount which is receivable from debtors. And you have received amount, it means they are no more your debtors. Debtors have been decreased. So entry number 6 is in front of you. It has been completed where there was decrease in debtors and increase in cash. You have received cash. What does that mean? Your cash has been increased. That is why you have put plus sign over here. Entry number 6 is completed. Now entry number 7. A part of building costing rupees 30,000 was destroyed by fire. It is very interesting to understand. Part of building destroyed. It means there is decrease in building. We have already mentioned building over here. In entry number 7, there is decrease in building. Entry number 7, 30,000. Decrease mean minus 30,000. It's very easy to understand. Building was of 1 lakh rupees, but out of this building, 30,000 of building has been destroyed. It's a loss. And in previous lectures, I have told you all incomes and expenses would be adjusted in capital. Since it's an expense, so expense are to be subtracted from capital. So guys, in this way, 30,000 building destroyed, it was a loss. Loss would be transferred to your capital. Capital would be decreased. This was your entry number 7, and we have completed it, where we have understood if building has been destroyed, there will be a decrease in building. And secondly, it was a loss. Loss is transferred to your capital account. Entry number 7 is completed. Now entry number 8 we will focus upon. He made additional investment by check. I have told you all investment which are made by a proprietor or owner, they are considered capital. So it means 20,000 increase in capital. Now its second effect, you will have to understand what happened. Additional investment by check. So this check would be deposited in bank where amount would be realized. It means when you will deposit this check into the bank, there will be an increase in bank account. This is your bank account. When you will deposit this check in your bank, it means your bank account would be increased by 20,000. So here you will write 20,000. Entry number 8 has been completed, where we have seen if proprietor is providing a check, that means this check would be deposited in your bank account would be increased, so 20,000 written on bank account. Secondly, anything which is provided by proprietor is called capital, so you have increased your capital as well. Entry number 7 is completed. Now we will focus for Entry 8 was completed. Now we will see entry number 9. And that is said, paid salaries by check. Paid salaries by check. Salaries are expenses, and as it was earlier told, all of the expenses would be adjusted in capital. This is your capital, and what we have said, it's an expense. Salaries are expenses with which capital would be decreased. How much amount of salaries? 4,000. So here minus 4,000 you are going to write. Understand it well. Salaries are expenses. Expenses should be adjusted in capital, and since noted down it has been paid by check. So due to payment through check, your amount in bank account would be decreased. So 4,000 would be with minus sign because amount has been decreased. Once again, please understand, you have paid salaries. Salaries are expenses. Expenses would be adjusted in capital. You will subtract expense. And secondly, since salaries are paid through check, so there will be a decrease in bank account. Alright guys, number 10 entry. Now it's last entry. Goods return to supplier. Please underline this word to. This is very important to understand. We are returning goods. It means goods are going out. There is decrease in goods. This is our column of goods. So 4,000, since decreasing, you will put sign of 4,000. Now again, listen. What does that mean? Goods return to supplier. It means as first step we have bought them, goods were increased. But now we didn't like the quality or color or something. So we have returned those commodities. From whom you have bought these commodities? We will go back and I will let you know again. Look at here. Purchase goods on account. At first stage you have purchased, and last entry is saying we didn't like the quality and we are returning. Supplier mean amount was payable, and this entry of 30,000. Look at here again. Purchase goods on account 30,000. This entry is showing we have bought goods on account, on credit 30,000, and now you have returned these commodities. It means you are not liable. Liable means liability. Your liability has been decreased by 4,000. So you will come over here and will write 4,000 with minus sign because you have returned these commodities. Now you are not liable to pay the amount, with which what happened? Your liability has been decreased. Decrease in liability means there would be a minus sign. Guys, in this way we have completed all of our entries. Now we are open to calculate sum of all the amounts. At this stage, we will calculate sum of each column. It's very important for all of you to please pay attention how to calculate the sum. Now this is our first column, and here whatever is written in this column, like 4,000, 20,000, again 20,000, and that's all. So sum of all these amounts I have written over here. In the similar way, we will take sum over here. So guys, you have seen that sum of all the columns we have calculated. At end, what we will do, we will take sum of all columns of asset side. Alright guys, all entries are completed. Now I need your attention. This is very important part. At this stage you will take sum of all the columns present on asset side. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 columns. You will take sum of all these 5 columns. Here I am taking help from Excel. I am going to take sum of all the columns present at this stage, like 4,000, 20,000, 20,000, okay, and that's all. So this is sum of bank column. In the similar way, I will take sum of all amounts present over here. And finally, the next step is to take sum of all sums of columns. What I am going to take, look, sum of cash, debtors, machine, sum of all assets I have written over here, 242,000. In the similar way, I will take sum of these two liability side. So first I have 236,000, then sum of second column. So this is 242,000. Now it has automatically been equalized. 242 is present on liability side, 242 is present on asset side, both are equalized. Let's check the answer. Here you can see 242,000 is the answer which has been provided in your question. Our answer is matched. So in this way we have completed our accounting equation. Now please note it down. I have left one single line after each transaction. We will discuss it later, but for the time being, just make your mind how to complete our accounting equation. I'm sure that you people have understood all of the entries, but even then, if I am going to request you to please practice this question for more than 3-4 times. After practicing, if you feel anything difficult, you are very open to share your problem through messages, text, or you can direct communicate. I will try my best to answer your queries instantly. So thank you very much for your time. It's time to end our lecture and it's time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.